We're not going to let China and Mexico sell cars into the United States that are going to just take back our jobs. They're going to have to pay 100%, maybe a 200% tariff, because we don't want those cars. We want to make our own cars in our country. We'll do it better than them. Other countries that make us pay a tax to do business with them will be charged the same tax when they send their product into the United States. It will be called the Trump Reciprocal Trade Act. In other words, if China or any other country charges us a 100, 200, or 300% tax, which they actually charge, then we will charge them a 100, 200, or 300% tax in return. Right now, we charge them nothing. My message is simple. Make your product here in America and only in America. That's what we wanted. My plan is that if you open your factory in Nevada, Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, Michigan, or anywhere else in the United States, you don't pay a tariff. You don't have to pay anything. All you have to do is pay the workers, and the workers are going to be you. But if you move your production outside of the United States and send it back here, you will have to pay a massive tariff, and we don't even want your product even if you pay it. We are going to very quickly supercharge our country. And when I'm back in that beautiful White House, we will pass larger tax cuts for workers. And we have a special tax that here is going to do, I think, quite well. It's called no tax on tips. No tax on tips. No tax on tips. Did you see when I announced that a long time ago, all of a sudden she announced it, and she was met with rebuke. And you know, they can't do it anyway because they have so much legislation in to make sure that you pay your tax on tips. And it didn't go over too well, but we are going to do it. We'll get it done fast. You know, they said they were going to cut the school lending when you borrow money to go to school. They were going to cut it. They were going to cut it down to nothing. Guess what? A big thud. Never happened. It never happened. You know why? Because they're all talk and no action. And you saw that the other night at the debate. She was all talk. I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to cut tax, and then I'm going to give you $25,000 for a house, and then I'm going to go, over and over. And I said very simply at the end of my last little statement, why haven't you done it? You've been there for 3.5 years. Why haven't you done it? Right, Michael? Why haven't you done it, Michael? Right, Michael? Why haven't they done it? I said, we will leave this debate stage, which is just a waste of time anyway. I will go with you to Washington, and you can announce the closure of the border. You know, she doesn't need a bill. I didn't have a bill. I said, we're closing the border. We closed the border. And we had the greatest chart of all time. You want to put up that chart if you can find it, the border chart, my all-time favorite in the history of charts. Yeah, I love that chart. I'm going to sleep with that chart. That chart saved my life. Can you believe it? Just like that. I said, put up the chart. And I went like that to look at it. Ping. That chart, think of it, illegal immigration saved my life. See that? That is the most beautiful document I've ever seen. But you see the arrow on the bottom? That's when I left office. That's the lowest point in the history of our country for illegal immigrants to come in, but also drugs and everything else that was coming in bad. That point is the lowest. And then as soon as they took over, look, it became a rocket ship. Look at that. Like a rocket ship. And our country was destroyed. We had it under control. That's the lowest point in the history. That was done by Border Patrol, that chart. But regardless of the numbers, I love that chart. I'm sorry. Additionally, I will fight for and protect Social Security and Medicare with no cuts. No cuts. And we will have no tax on Social Security benefits for our seniors. no tax on Social Security. And then we wheeled out a great one, and I actually think this is going to be fantastic for the country as well as the worker, because a lot of people are going to be working overtime. And just yesterday I announced that there will be no taxes on overtime.